first time.
Trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. Trick or treat. When I heard about this film for the first time, and based on the trailer that I saw, or I saw one little tiny snippet of this film, one little tiny bit, I assumed that the whole film was going to be like a slasher type of movie. This little, this little kid type of thing that's like on Halloween, and people don't like Halloween or something, and he's gonna fuck up those people that don't like Halloween. I thought it was gonna be kind of a cliche slasher movie. Oh, it's dark. You upset the supernaturalness of Halloween or something, and this little dude's gonna come and get you. And like this old man here, he didn't give kids the candy. Fuck him, kill him. I assumed that's what it was going to be. But I was very pleasantly surprised that it was not. This almost came off like a full-on comedy to me, like in a funny way. Like it was funny. There's a lot of funny shit in here and good surprises. I was just like, what? They're doing this? So I don't know where to begin with this one, because they go back and forth to a few different people going in time. They show what happens at the end, essentially, like these characters that sort of cross paths a little bit at the very beginning here, and then they go back to like what happened beforehand with each of these ones earlier, later, and stuff like that. They show all this happening, and like the first thing you see is basically this family, or this husband and wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, are just getting done from their night, either trick-or-treating or chaperoning, or whatever you want to call it with that. It seems like they're at a party, I guess, and she's ready to like get rid of all the Halloween stuff now. Halloween's over. She hates Halloween. She's done with the party, whatever. She like burns out the light in the jack-o'-lantern. She's ready to rip off the ghost and the decorations. They seem to have a lot of decorations in their yard for not liking Halloween, by the way. A lot of effort there. And they made it sound like, okay, after you do that, then you're going to come up and join me, and we're going to have some fun sex. Like, yeah, we get the tape ready. They're going to watch a porno and go to Shagtown. And I thought it was just kind of funny that like the boyfriend or whatever goes upstairs, and yeah, it's been a little bit, but he doesn't even really jack it or nothing. He just goes to sleep. It's just like, yeah, whatever. He puts the tape in and just like goes to sleep. And the girl's down there, and she's like, there's some creepy, there's like a creepy dude around, but it's just, regular mask, costume, whatever going on. And then she just kind of gets jumped by a sheet and killed. And then her body is like put on a scarecrow or cross thing, and the husband finds it, and she's got a lollipop in her mouth. She's decapitated and fucked up in all these different ways. And it's like, oh shit, all right, that's fucked. And then it's like, okay, so yeah, that also gave me the impression that the film was going to be kind of like that, where this little like demon of Halloween is going to kill a bunch of people, and in these horrible ways that hate Halloween. That was the gist. And forgive me if I'm going a little bit out of order here, but the film sort of goes out of its own order anyway, so that's just kind of what's happening right here. There's this dad or principal fellow right here, and he knows a lot about Halloween, but he has different thoughts here, and he's just carving a shitty little pumpkin essentially, and he's got this fat kid next to him. I wasn't sure at first. I'd have to rewatch the line. I wasn't paying attention as closely at this time, and then I started to after this point. But there's a kid next to him. It's like pigging out on some candy, and he notices on his shoes. He's like, "Oh, were you smashing pumpkins? You stole some candy from some kids." And this kid's like a little fat kid, just eating away. Doesn't really even say that much dialogue. I don't know if he says any dialogue, honestly. And he's just eating away, and the dad's just like, oh, there used to be ancient tradition. We used to light the pumpkins and give each other the treats and stuff as a way to fend them off or something. It was what we did, but now nobody cares. And then he's like, teaching him a little lesson of some kind. And then he's like, always check your candy. And the kid just starts puking. And I assumed that he was puking out chocolate, because he was just stuffing his face with chocolate. But apparently that was blood. Kid's puking out blood. And the dad's just like, oh yeah, whatever. To me, I thought he was just teaching the kid a lesson of, don't shove your fucking face with this stuff. Don't just trust all the candy you see, whatever. It's like, yeah, have a little more respect, kind of a thing. Lose some weight as well. I kind of assumed that that's what he was going for, but no, he pretty much just kills the kid, and there's a bunch of blood all over his own shirt, because the kid just spittles up some on him. And trick-or-treaters come to the door, and they're like, ah, great costume. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm bloody. He's like, oh no, but It's just a little bit right there, and the kids go away, and it's whatever. And then this is the kids that approach you are kids that we follow in a little bit here later. They're collecting jack-o'-lanterns for a ritual, but they're really just doing a little prank thing as well on this other girl. But they anyway, so we go back with our guy here, and he's gonna bury the body. He's a hole dug up already with like another body in there, it seemed. And he tosses this kid in there, and it's like, okay, so he's trying to bury this, but there's all these little distractions. He's just trying to finish burying this hole here, and there's all these freaking distractions from like the neighbor's dog, the people on the street, his own kid upstairs is yelling to him about stuff. Charlie Brown sucks or something. And it's like, we'll be up there in a bit. We're going to do that soon. I'm gonna when we carve the pumpkin and whatever. I'm gonna carve the jack-o'-lantern. And she's like, okay. And just all these things are going wrong for him. He's just trying to dig his hole. I thought it was just kind of funny. He's about to go inside, and you see the neighbor before going inside said, "Oh, screw you." And then he's like in his window going, "Help, Wilkins, help." And he's like, "Screw you, bitch." And then, you see the little, he gets like attacked by something in the window. You don't know by what yet. You get to that later. And so you go, you're trying to figure out what's going to happen here. What's going on. And yeah, this dude just killed a kid, and something else is going on next door. So what is going on here? What's going on exactly? What's the connection? The way they film this misleads you a little bit, or at least I feel like it misleads you a little bit on what is going to happen based on the way that they're showing this. And he's got his knife, and the kid scares him a little bit, and they go downstairs, and you think they set it up like, oh, he killed this other kid. Well, why wouldn't he kill this kid? And it's like, he stabs, and you think, oh, did he just kill his son? What the fuck? No, the son's just fine. The son seems happy still. It's all good. And they revealed that it's the head of the little fat kid that they just did. The kid's like happy to carve into this head here. Like, what the fuck? This little serial killer Dillo, essentially. What the fuck? That was just a nice little surprise. It was like, whoa, all right. And you killed the kid already. So again, stakes raised again. All right, shit. And so and then I think we go next. They show these girls getting dressed and whatever. They're like putting on outfits and everything. They're trying to get ready for a party of some kind. So they're trying to look all slutty and sexy and everything. And Rogue from X-Men, that actress is in this. I don't know her name, but she's the main one I recognize. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right. And, there's like a sexy Cinderella, a Snow White, a Red Riding Hood, and something else I don't remember off the top of my head, Aurora or some shit. And they are getting ready to go. Let's get a date. I'll show you what to do. We got to get our dates tonight. And it makes it seem like it's a normal thing here. They point out, these two are the Cinderella one and the Red Riding Hood. Characters, whatever, they lost their mom, so it's older sister and younger sister looking out. There's the more dorky one that's a little less sexy and whatnot, but they set it up like it's going to be a normal thing here. And they even like pointed out clearly that she's pretty much a virgin, and is like, okay, shit, all right. So is it going to be the virgin is going to get thrown into the situation, and she's going to, is she going to be the one that survives, like the typical horror film slasher stuff that they do, or what's going to happen here? So that's where my head was going. But nope, that gets subverted later. I'm actually just going to follow this thread now with them, even though it skips around to something else for a bit. You have the Rogue character walking alone in the woods. Almost, this has to be on purpose, obviously. She's dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. She's by herself in the woods, going to this party that's also in the woods with her sister and her friends and stuff. And it's just like, okay. And they keep on saying, oh, it's going to be my first time, and it's going to be like this, oh, I found you a date. And it's like a dude dressed as a baby, and it's like, just funny little thing. But she gets jumped by this other guy in a cloak that you see earlier that is like, he seems to have killed somebody before, at least one or two other people he's already killed up to this point. It's like, oh shit. So I assume this was supposed to be the dad from earlier, because he said that he has a date or something. So I wasn't sure if this was that same father, but no, this is not. And he ends up attacking Rogue, and it's like, oh shit, is she gonna get raped right here, or is she ready for this? What's gonna happen? And then you go to the party where the sister and the friends are at, and you see the body fly into the thing, and they're like, oh my gosh, sister, or whatever. No, oh no. And then the sister, and then Rogue walks up. She looks a little bit more confident than before, and there's like, oh, you're late. I was worried about you. You're the runt of the litter. They're trying to say, and they're just like, oh, I played hard to get, like you said. and it was just like, oh, whatever, everybody's continuing. And then the guy that's like just got knocked the fuck out sort of is looking around and is like, oh, the fuck, like he notices some bodies that are around, and they're like, the girls are watching as she's about to have her first meal, apparently, I guess, or whatever. I'm not exactly sure the specifics of what they're doing there. These are a bunch of werewolves. The women, all these girls are like a werewolf little family here, a little werewolf pack, essentially. They like rip off their skin to reveal the werewolf stuff. So it's like, oh shit, it's like, what big eyes you have, doing that. That was neat. I was like, oh shit, that was a good little twist. I wasn't expecting that one. I was like, oh, vampires, what are they doing? What are they trying to do? This is okay. I like that. I like that little twist. It wasn't going to be like where she's the little victim and it's whatever. These were a pack of werewolves, but also that's the last time we see them. They're not really important to the story. It's just that was just a like side little thing that happened on the same night. Okay, whatever. And then there's another bit that we go to where we're following the kids that were collecting jack-o'-lanterns, and they pick up this one girl that she seemed like she might be the creepy one, like she's like the witchcraft type of stuff. And it was like, okay, but whatever. And it seems like, okay, they're gonna do some things as the kids and whatever with the jack-o'-lanterns. They tell a little story about all these kids that they said were special but not retard exactly. They were like cuffed or chained to this bus. I don't really understand what they're doing here with that, but they're all wearing these masks and just ridiculous. And this one kid ends up taking control of the bus and drives them over a cliff because the driver drove them away. The parents wanted them to be disposed of in some type of way. And they drive over the cliff, and there's like this lore about, they come to life and do whatever. So we're going to sacrifice these pumpkins to appease them that are dead or something. And they end up just using this whole setup as a ruse to scare the little girl dressed as a witch. And she is just frightened. She hits her head. She's hurt a little bit, and it's not good. And then they're getting ready to go home. And then there's like a bunch of actual little demon kids that just sprout up and take one of them, and they're all trying to run away. The girl and the little witch girl ends up being in like this little elevator thing that takes her up. And but it's like, oh, let us in, let us in, let us in. She's like, fuck you guys, basically. I'm just gonna go up and not let you in. You can all screw yourselves. Goodbye. And it's like, oh shit, she just left them to die, and they do. And that was that. It's just like, this movie is way different than what I was thinking of. My head was just in a fully different headspace going into this, and all these different things are happening. I was just like, this is great. This is funny. There's just doing funny. A lot of it came off as comedy to me, and I thought they did a pretty good job on that. And then we go back to the guy next door with the dog next to the teacher that, to the principal or whatever that killed the kid earlier with the fat kid and everything. This guy was next door. He seemed like a little bit of an asshole and whatever. It's Halloween and he's, just kind of being a meanie head, but whatever. And he's in his house. He got his dog, and he's hearing some weird noises. He thought he saw a kid running around. There's knocks on the door. The dog's barking at a bunch of different stuff, and he's trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here. And he goes into this room and upstairs, and it's got like trick or treat, give me something good to eat, all over the wall, and like blood. There's things lit up. It's like supernatural as fuck. And he sees this little kid thing, and that like stabs his leg, and he gets knocked down the stairs, and there's a bunch of candy and razor blades all over it, and he tries to get out of the lock, but the thing is like climbing on the ceiling and pounces on him and is like beating the crap out of him, it seems. And he's able to launch the kid away and shoot the kid a couple of different times, and it's like, okay, crisis averted, right? Nope. The hand that he shot off is still alive and like cuts him, and then like just goes back to the little body. He pulled off the mask before, and it was just this hideous little thing underneath, and it's like, what the effing fuck is this shit? It was biting the shit out of his leg earlier, and it's like, God, what the hell? This thing comes back to life, and he's trying to again get the fuck away from this as best as possible. Asks for help from the neighbor, pounces on him again. And it looks like he's about to get killed. He tries to stab it. It like breaks his hand or something, fucks it up. And he's got a broken lollipop candy thing. The little dude like stabs at him, and it doesn't kill the guy. It hits a chocolate bar that he was in the middle of eating before, and just takes it and walks away and walks out of the house. The wind opens the door for him and closes it behind him. And it's like, fuck, all right. And, he's just, he's going to be hand out candy to the trick-or-treaters, man, from now on. And I don't know, this film was neat. I liked it. It was a fun little film. I thought it was going to be in like the classic serial killer direction, slasher, the classic slasher direction, and I'm glad it didn't go in that way. So I like Trick or Treat. That one was neat. It was nice. It was cool. I recommend it.